The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
It's coming.
All these voices. All these voices.
They're mine. They're not yours. You had no right to them when you were alive, and you have no right to them when you're dead. That's what it sounded like. Good, so you know who I am. Because then you know I'm not playing. You're going to let those women go. In Jesus' name, you're going to let those women go.
Is there a demon here watching us right now? Or just watching us right now?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Staring into the Abyss. I am your host, horror author James Hershey Jr., and with me, as always, my co-host, old boy James Ash. How you doing, brother?
Good evening, misfits, sugar ladies, monster lovers, and demon hunters, and motherfuckers. How you doing?
We have got a very interesting show lined up for you tonight. On tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about an alien report out of Mexico. Now, this is a convoluted one, so try to follow me here. I'll try to run through it a little bit for you. Essentially, the story comes out of Mexico. Everybody's talking about it right now. But it's based on the supposed mummified corpses of aliens from Peru that were discovered in like 2017, but actually date like 1500 to 2000 years ago is when supposedly they were dated as. Told you, convoluted. Basically what happened was this dude who studies UFOs in Mexico, he's like this famous ufologist there. He presented the supposed corpse of a mummified alien to Congress in Mexico. Okay, so the Mexican Congress. And he had this scientist dude with him that supposedly says that these things are not human, that they're alien, and that they did radiocarbon dating on them, and that they did like x-rays and found eggs inside. Okay, I have an article from the New York Post that I'm going to go over with you so you can kind of get all the facts of it. And then I also have several photographs of the supposed mummified alien corpse that we're going to look at and we're going to examine. And today we're going to be trying to answer the question, is this real? Is this an actual mummified alien corpse? Or is it just another bunch of BS? Okay, because there's a lot of that crap going on. Especially with the rise of TikTok, you've got so many of these paranormal videos on TikTok that are absolute garbage. The people have no idea what the hell they're talking about, and it's all sensationalism and clickbait crap. Okay, so we're going to figure out tonight, real or clickbait crap. So without further ado, we're going to go to the article. Tonight's article comes from the New York Post, and the headline is UFO Expert Displays Supposed Non-Human Alien Corpses in Mexico's Congress. We are not alone. It was written by Isabel Keene. And just before I start this article, I have 3 or 4 pictures of the mummified aliens, as well as a photograph of the x-ray of them that I'll be showing at the end of the article, so that we can all kind of get a good look at it, and I'll kind of go over that with it. Mexican politicians were shown 2 mummified corpses this week that a UFO expert claimed are a clear demonstration of non-human aliens. The 2 bodies, with only 3 fingers on each hand, and elongated ET-style heads, were displayed in windowed boxes Tuesday for a public congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or UAPs. The corpses are between 700 and 1800 years old, with x-rays showing one has mysterious eggs inside, ufologist Jamie Mawson told the hearing. "We are not alone," Mawson said. The longtime UFO enthusiast told lawmakers that DNA testing proved that these specimens are not part of our terrestrial evolution. This is the first time extraterrestrial life, is presented in such a form. And I think there is a clear demonstration that we are dealing with non-human specimens that are not related to any other species in our world. The ancient specimens were retrieved from Cusco, Peru in 2017, the hearing was told. Scientists recently studying the UFO specimens at the Autonomous National University of Mexico were able to extract DNA evidence from the specimens using radiocarbon dating, Mawson explained. Jose de Jesus Zalci Benitez, director of the Scientific Institute for Health of the Mexican Navy, also said X-rays, 3D reconstruction, and DNA analysis had been carried out on the remains. I can affirm that these bodies have no relation to human beings, he said. And here is one of the photographs. It has a picture here of a shadow box case. And inside that case is one of the mummified remains. Now, you'll see later in the photographs that I show the actual scale of this thing. It's very, very small. It's maybe like 2 feet or something. It's not very big at all. You'll see it actually next to people, so you'll be able to really judge. But that's a photograph of it right there. And I have a zoomed in, much closer picture that I'll be showing later as well. The mysterious findings were presented alongside a slew of other videos of UFOs and unidentified anomalous phenomena. The hearing aimed to rule on the phenomenon in the Aerial Space Protection Law, which would turn Mexico into the first country in the world to acknowledge the presence of aliens on the planet, local media reported. Ryan Graves, the executive director of Americans for Safe Aerospace and a former U.S. Navy pilot, told the hearing that UAPs represent an urgent priority for both aerospace safety and scientific inquiry. Mawson, who is Mexico's best-known ufologist, has been outspoken about extraterrestrial findings. Earlier this year, the expert tweeted about a photograph of a sunset over a stadium near the U.S.-Mexico border that featured a UAP. I believe it is a ship of non-human origin, he wrote. The image shows Estadio Olímpico Benito Juárez, just 2 miles away from El Paso, Texas, with a dark spot near the sun, which Mawson said he believed was a UFO. And that is the end of the article. Now, I want to show you these photographs that I was talking about. Okay, the first photograph is the one I was telling you about earlier, where I said I had a photograph of this thing in the case next to 2 people for scale. This is the ufologist guy and one of the scientists. And here you can see the box that this thing is in. And as you look at it next to the people, you can see that this is a very, very small mummified alien corpse, if that's what it is. When I show you the zoomed in picture here in a minute, you're gonna understand that there is some doubt here. Okay, this scientist guy says that it's not human. He says he's done scans, and I'll show you the scans next, so you can judge for yourself. But when you see the close up of this thing, to me, it just looks like a statue. It doesn't look like anything that was organic at any point. But I'll let you judge that for yourself when you see it. Okay, here is the photograph of the actual scans that they presented to Congress, to Mexican Congress. And in the right of the photograph, you can see the box with the alien in it and the scientist again. But here on the left, you can see the scan that they supposedly did. Now, they're claiming that the scans show that there are eggs inside one of the alien bodies. I guess they're trying to say that maybe the thing was pregnant and that is how it reproduces, maybe. I don't know. But that's supposedly what these scans show. It dates back over 1,000 years. According to them, the radiocarbon dating puts it like in between 1,500 and 2,000 years ago. So if that's the case, this thing has been around for a long, long time. And one thing that I would bring up here is if that is in fact scans of the mummified corpse, and those are in fact eggs that are being shown, I would say that there is a possibility that those eggs do not belong to that body. It could be possible that those eggs were laid by insects or something like that inside the mummified corpse. Because I guarantee you, for the entire time of its existence, if it is that old, that it has not been like in an airtight, vacuum-sealed kind of environment where no bugs can get to it. I guarantee you it was probably just put in a case somewhere, just like it's sitting in now, where insects would be able to get in there sometimes. And I guarantee you over that entire lifetime of this thing that it had been exposed to the elements and it has been exposed to insect life. So it's very possible that the eggs that were laid in this thing belong to some kind of bug, you know, and maybe they just didn't hatch for whatever reason. Maybe whatever they used to mummify this thing kind of kept it from the eggs actually developing. You know, maybe it killed the eggs, and what you're looking at there are just dead eggs that some bug laid, and whatever chemicals or spices that were used to mummify this thing just killed them. And so now they're just there, you know. You might think that's kind of far-fetched, but a lot of insects do that. You know, flies do that all the time when they land on something. Flies do some gross stuff, man. They land on something and they almost immediately vomit on it in order to start to dissolve it, and then they suck it back up through a tube that comes out of their face. It's almost like a straw. And they'll lay eggs on damn near everything they land on if it's something that the young maggots would be able to eat. So it's very possible that a fly could have got on that thing and laid some eggs in it. And that's exactly what we're looking at there. I'm not saying that's 100% the case. I'm just saying that it's very possible, because that happens quite a bit with flies. They do that. And then that's just one insect out of the thousands and thousands and thousands that could have come in contact with this. So I think that just because they're showing this scan that there might be eggs inside of it doesn't necessarily mean what we're looking at is little baby aliens in there. That's just my take on it. You let me know in the comments section when this hits YouTube what you guys think about that. Okay, this final photograph is the zoomed in photograph that I was talking about. Now, this photograph, to me, it does not look like an organic life form. This, to me, looks like a stone statue. Okay, now there's a couple things I want to point out to you here. I want you to notice the face of this thing. It looks to be carved. Look at the nose and the eyes. Now, if this was an actual organic creature that was mummified, they would be separate structures. But if you look at the area around the nose, in between the nose and the eye, and the nose and the other eye, and then the forehead area, it is just flat there. And it doesn't appear that the nose is actually standing out as a separate thing. Now, if you look at like a human face or an animal face, right? The nose is part of the face, but it is a separate organ. So it looks like it's part of the face, but it's separate from the face, if that makes sense. If you look at this head, it looks like it was all one level, and it was carved down around the nose and the eyes. That does not look like separate features. That looks like it was one big piece of stone, and it was carved down like you would see on a statue. The mouth as well just simply looks to be where some of the material was removed and carved out. That doesn't look like separate lips and separate structures of a mouth. Okay, so now I want you to look at the chest area, the shoulder area, going down into the arms, okay? Notice how in the shoulder area, there is no shoulder joint there. Now, in an actual organic creature, you're going to have a shoulder structure there, because there has to be something that connects the arm to the torso, okay? Usually, like with human beings and with most animals, what that is a ball joint. So you have your shoulder joint that goes straight into your clavicle, right? And there's a ball that fits in a socket that enables you to rotate your arm. If you look at this, there is no ball joint there at all. There's no, the bulge isn't there that would denote that there's a joint there that can move. This is just one solid piece going across. And once again, it looks like it's been carved. You can see in the chest area especially that it looks carved out. It does not look like an actual organic creature. Okay, if you go down from there, down to the area that would be the chest, down into the abs area, and you look at the side of this thing, where the ribs would be, on the side, you can see areas where they took too much out when they were carving it, to where it is not at all symmetrical with the other side, and it is not at all following that flow line that would go down your torso. On the one side, it's the creature's left side. As you're looking at the photograph, it's on the right side of the photograph. That follows a more natural flow line down. You have the little bumps coming out that are supposed to denote ribs, but it's more of a natural flow line than the other side. The other side, as it starts to go down, first of all, up here at the top where it meets the armpit, that ratio is wrong. There's too much material left there. Some of that should have been carved out to make it more symmetrical and make it look natural. But then as you get down here to the bottom of the photograph, you've got a giant divot taken out there. Now, something like that in an actual organic creature, that would have been probably a deadly wound. That would have killed the thing. But here, it looks like it is, if it was an organic creature, it would have been an injury that would have healed. But because it's not all ragged and like a puncture wound or something, it's simply just a divot out. So that would have had to have been a healed injury. But anything that had an injury going that far into its torso like that, that's going to take out who knows what. I mean, some kind of organs are going to be in there. I can't specify exactly because it's not a human being, but you're talking kidneys, you're talking organs, you're talking your liver, you're talking possibly the stomach if it gets deep enough or on the right side, maybe even the bottom of the lung at that point. You know, so, I mean, you're talking a fatal wound that would definitely kill anything that sustained a wound like that. But on a fatal wound like that, it's going to be open. It's going to be jagged. It's not going to be smooth like it is here. The only way it could be smooth like that is if the wound was healed. And nothing's going to survive that deep of an indentation into its torso like that. I don't buy it. So the reason I went through all that with you is because I don't really care what the scientist guy says. Okay, because I don't know who the hell this guy is. For all you know, it's just some dude they put in a white jacket. And you might say, well, they went before Congress. They wouldn't go before Congress and lie. They do that crap all the time. I mean, they do it in this country too. We all lived through it in the pandemic where they sat there and lied straight to our faces for month after month after month. They lied in front of Congress. They lied on TV. They lied. Everybody lied to you. Damn doctor you go to all the time lied. They all lied to you. Okay, so you can't tell me that a scientist ain't going to get up there and lie, because they do. They lie like crazy. Even if he is a scientist, doesn't mean that I trust what he says. The physical evidence of looking at this thing, I do not believe this is an organic creature. I believe that this is a creature that has been carved out of stone. It's a statue, and it's tiny. You know, so it's not like it's some big alien or something. I mean, this thing is little, man. You could fit this on your coffee table. Like if you went and bought this statue, you could literally sit it on your coffee table. The case is really big, but the actual carving itself, the stone statue guy, is little, man. You could put that on your coffee table if you wanted to. It's not a big creature. And if you look at it, I do not in any way buy that this is an actual alien. I do not in any way buy that this was ever alive. To me, looking at it, there's overwhelming evidence that I've already went through with you that this is a stone carving. This is not anything that's alive. So while you're going to get a lot of clickbait from a lot of people, you're going to get a lot of people on YouTube and TikTok and all of that going all nuts and saying, oh my God, this proves aliens exist. I don't buy it at all. I think it's BS. And I told you why I think so. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. If you think it's BS as well, then let me know that. If you think that this is an actual alien and I'm full of crap, you can let me know that as well. But if you feel that way, you're going to have to reconcile all the points that I made, because there's no getting around what I said. You know, this is not a representation of an actual organic alien creature that was once alive. This is somebody carved a statue, dude, and now they're trying to pass it off as an alien. Now, I'm not saying it's not 1,500 years old. Who knows? They carved a lot of stuff like this back in those days. All kinds of crazy statues. But it could be something that's relatively new as well, that they're just lying and saying it's that old, that they made just to try to pass off as an alien. I think it's BS. I don't buy it at all. Like I said, let me know what you guys think. Okay, so that's pretty much where I stand on it. I think this is 100% BS. I think it's not real at all. I'm not saying they didn't present it to Congress. I'm not saying that they didn't have something that they were claiming as an alien. I'm just saying I don't think it's an alien. I think it's a statue. It's a stone carving, and they're trying to pass it off as it is an alien. And I don't know if this guy's an actual scientist. If he is, that really doesn't mean nothing to me, to be honest with you, because we've seen how they lie. I'm not saying all scientists lie, but I'm saying scientists will lie if the money's right. And we don't even know if this guy is an actual scientist or what the situation is with it. All we know is they presented this. This is what they're claiming. I've heard some people say that, because in the article they talk about they were able to extract DNA while they were doing radiocarbon dating. And I've heard some people, especially like on TikTok, say that didn't make any sense because you can't extract DNA when you're doing radiocarbon dating. All that is doing is dating the carbon in the specimen, that it's not extracting DNA. So they don't understand how you can do that. Now this is another example of what I was talking about. These people that get on here and they make these videos about subject matter that they really don't understand. And they claim things that they don't know, okay? And they're full of crap most of the times. You absolutely can extract usable, viable DNA from doing the process of radiocarbon dating. It does not alter the date whatsoever. It's what they claim, at least. I find that a hard thing to say, honestly. And this is way off in the weeds, but I'm going to get into it just a little bit for you. Radiocarbon dating, a lot of people think that is an exact science. Okay, they think that will tell you pinpoint the exact date where something dates to, but it just doesn't. It's at best a ballpark figure, and it's not very reliable in some cases. Okay. You can absolutely get viable, usable DNA that you can test from radiocarbon dating, okay? Because in order to do radiocarbon dating, you're not just taking a picture of this thing or doing an x-ray. You are taking a sample. Usually it's a tissue sample if you're dealing with something organic, or if you're not, then either way you're taking a sample from the specimen and you are performing the testing on that sample. So if you are taking a sample from an organic specimen or something that used to be organic, used to be alive, and it has viable DNA, then you very well can easily get DNA from that process. Now, I say if it has viable DNA because sometimes it doesn't. A lot of times when things are really, really old, the DNA will degrade over time. So the actual structure of the DNA degrades and breaks apart, and it's not usable anymore. You can't really tell anything from it. You can't get any use out of it. After a certain amount of time, it just becomes almost impossible unless it is preserved in a very particular way that can occur in nature, but it is not the norm, okay? So it's very hard to get viable DNA from a very old specimen. Not impossible, very hard. Now, 1,000, 1,500 years, that's not to the point to where it's impossible to do, okay? If they wanted to get DNA from a specimen that is that old, yes, there's going to be degradation. Yes, in some cases, depending on how the specimen was preserved, you're not going to have usable DNA. But if it's preserved correctly, you very well can. I mean, they pulled mammoth out of the permafrost that still had fur on it. Okay, that is a example of ideal preservation, to where something is frozen in the ground and it is preserved for like 10,000 years. Okay, because mammoths date to like 10, 15,000 years ago, depending on the specimen. So that's well past the 1,500 year date that we're talking about here. And they've been able to not only extract mammoth DNA, but map the genome with that DNA to the point to where they're actually in the process of cloning mammoths and bringing them back to life. So it is absolutely 100% doable in this process of radiocarbon dating. And another point is 1,500 years is not old enough for complete degradation of DNA to where you're not going to be able to get a viable sample. Now, the reason I get way off in the weeds on that, and I tell you that, is because I've heard a lot of these idiots on TikTok and some of these other idiots on YouTube that are claiming that 1,500 years is way too old to be able to have viable DNA. They're also claiming that it's impossible to get DNA from radiocarbon dating. They're actually laughing about it and calling anybody who believes that stupid. Okay? When the reality is these people are stupid. They have no idea what the hell they're saying. They're dumb. They don't know anything. They're people that have kind of jumped on the bandwagon of the spooky paranormal thing because it's being successful. People are getting a lot of views and clicks and stuff like that out of it. So you have a lot of people that have no idea what the hell they're talking about, talking an awful lot. And the frustrating thing for people like me is they're getting hundreds of thousands of views on these videos. And they're idiots. They have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're completely wrong, and anybody that listens to them and thinks that they're going to learn something, you're just learning stuff that's not right. So then you sound like an idiot when you go out and repeat it. You see what I'm saying? It drives me crazy. I don't understand how people like that get so many views and such a following when they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They're completely wrong. They're not informed at all. You're not going to learn a damn thing from watching them. But yet people continue to watch. I don't get it. But anyway, I wanted to say that because I owe you the truth. Okay, I owe you a well-researched, well-thought-out opinion on something, and I owe you the actual facts and evidence. And that's what I'm going to give you. And I think I went over that tonight with the actual mummified corpse that I believe is a statue. I went over the reasons why. You're free to make up your own mind, as always. You don't have to agree with me. But at least you can see why I'm saying what I'm saying, and that I know what the hell I'm talking about when I do one of these shows. So with that being said, I want to kind of address the larger picture here of the UFO phenomenon that's really starting to take off now. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things, okay? There's people that say that we're getting ready to get full disclosure and everybody's going to know that aliens are real and all this kind of jazz, right? You get people that are saying it's 100% fake, that they're only using it, the whole UFO thing, to distract the public from what certain people are doing or certain people are getting in trouble for doing. There's that out there. That goes into the political realm, and you all know what I'm talking about. You also have people that claim that aliens don't exist at all, and they are in fact just demons, and that this is not disclosure. This is not the government saying that aliens exist. This is not even aliens coming to Earth. It is simply demons that are manifesting as aliens, and that the disclosure and the alien invasion is going to be used as a cover-up for the rapture and for the tribulation period and all of that. Those are some of the major theories that are kind of going around about why we're seeing all of this alien stuff in the news now, why they are coming right out and basically saying it. Having all these hearings on Capitol Hill and in other countries now as well. And you have the mainstream news doing actual news stories on this stuff and treating it as a serious topic instead of laughing and joking and treating it like crackpot crap, which is what they usually did for most of the time we've been alive. Where do I come down on this? I think it's probably none of them, be honest with you. I don't think they're trying to cover up anything, because they wouldn't cover it up with aliens. I mean, they would just do what they always do. Okay, if you look at every time the party that the media likes, and we all know what party that is, whenever they're doing something they're not supposed to be doing, and they're getting in trouble, what do they always do? They always lie. The media gets out there and they just tell bold-faced lies. You could have it right in front of your face, and they'll still say, nope, that's not what it is. Like you're holding a red book right in front of your face. And I say, nope, the book ain't red. It's not even a book at all. Actually, it's a basketball, and it is purple. And even though any idiot can see it's not a basketball and it's not purple, they go out there with confidence and they lie over and over and over and over again. That's what they do. They don't concoct an alien invasion to distract. That's conspiracy crap. That's not reality. Okay, it's way too much work. You're going to have to get way too many people involved. You're going to have a lot of reputable people lie about what they've seen and all this kind of stuff just to have this goofy cover-up that is just trying to distract from some temporary political problem. First of all, ask yourself, do they even need to distract? It's not like we don't know what the hell they're doing. We know they're crooked. What can we do? They control everything. They control the government. They control the intelligence agencies. They control the court. They control the media. What can you do? They don't need some big cover-up distraction. Okay, so I don't buy that at all. The demon thing, no, aliens are not demons, man. You guys got to stop saying that. It's just not the case. If you want to know what demons actually are, I did a show on it called "What Are Demons and Where Do They Come From?" It's here on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/James Hershey Jr. for everybody listening on the radio. I go into great detail. It's an hour-long show. I tell you exactly what demons are, where they come from, what they do, everything about them. It's a very, very informative show. It's backed up by scripture, and it is very, very good. Okay, so all of these religious people that are saying demons or aliens, just stop. Unless you can actually point to something biblical that says that, just stop. Because it's not true. Okay? And they always quote stuff out of the Bible on these videos that they make about it, but it's always taken out of context, and that's not what it means at all. But they'll claim that it is. Like, they'll claim that it's like when the Antichrist sits on the throne in the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem during the tribulation period, during the second half. They will claim that the verse that talks about that is talking about an alien invasion. And it's just not. You know, it's clear to anybody who knows their Bible that it's not. So that conspiracy theory too, that theory is crap. Don't listen to it. I don't put any stock in that. And I'm a pastor. Okay? I know the Word of God. I preach the Word of God. Aliens aren't demons. Okay? Is it a full-scale alien invasion? I seriously doubt that. You know, why would they have to continually show up and let us know they're here before they invade? That makes absolutely no sense to any possible idea of warfare that we know. Why would you announce yourself long before, over and over and over again, in small little ways, before you invade? That's just stupid. You want the element of surprise. Even if you think you can destroy those people that you're invading, you still want the element of surprise. Because why would you want to put yourself at a disadvantage at all? Even if you have overwhelming force and overwhelming technology. You know, we have overwhelming technology over animals. A deer or a fish is not going to have better technology than you do when you go out there to get it. But you're still quiet and you sneak up on a deer. Or you sit in ambush in a tree stand and wait for it to walk by before you shoot it. Okay, when you're dealing with a fish, you're still trying to trick that fish. You're still trying to make that fish not know that you're there and think that whatever lure you're using or whatever is perfectly cool and there's nothing wrong with it. So you can catch it by surprise and catch it and eat it. You're not going to go there, walk out into the river and start splashing around and letting the fish know that, hey, it's me, I'm a human, I'm here. Now, like I said, we have overwhelming technology over them. There's no way they can possibly compete with us. But you still don't do it because it's stupid. Why make it harder for yourself? If the aliens are so damn smart that they can travel all the way across the solar system or the galaxy or hell, the universe, who knows where they come from. If they're that smart that they can do all that and that advanced, why would they be so dumb to announce themselves? Especially to a group of people that if they have been coming here and seeing us, they know we're warlike and that we will attack without provocation. So if they give us any provocation, we're definitely attacking. Why would you announce yourself? Why would you make it harder on yourself if you know that we're going to fight? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to come in, you're going to try to catch us by surprise. And then you're going to either pretend that you're here for peace and then get us later when we're not expecting it, or you just show up one day with your overwhelming technology and force and you take us out before we know it hit us. That's the way it should be done. They're not going to be stupid enough to let us know they're coming. Okay? So like I said, I don't think it's any of them. I think aliens probably do exist. I mean, I believe they exist. I think it's crazy to think that in this entire universe we are the only planet that contains life. I mean, we know we're not. They found microscopic life on Mars. There's microscopic life on tardigrades on the moon. Okay, so that's two examples right there of life outside of Earth that exists. So obviously, we're not the only form of life in the universe. Intelligent life? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But to say that any of those theories are correct would not be honoring the truth, in my opinion. So that's where I stand. Let me know in the comment section, like I said, when this hits YouTube, what you think. And I'll be back after Old Boy has his turn to wrap the show up. So, Old Boy, go ahead, brother.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed what James was saying. So, here we go, UFOs again. It's going to probably be a big topic for now on, probably for a while, because, now they're going to be talking about it today, and I don't see you guys, they're going to be talking about it with the United States government now. I think it's today or tomorrow, I forget, but I think it's already done, or they already started. So, Jaime, I think it says Messina. I'm probably saying it wrong, but he has given 2 bodies in Mexico to the Mexican government parliament of supposedly aliens, either 7 to 1800 years old. They were found in 2017, and he has pictures, and he had a scientist and say that they took x-rays and showed it. One actually has eggs, and they're saying they're real. They're not human, not from this origin in this world. And I'll get to that in a minute, and there's a couple other things I'm going to say, because I guess one of the leading United States alien experts is already saying it's a hoax, and saying that Mexico is just trying to get or he's just trying to get fame, because before, Jaime has said 10 years ago he claimed he had an alien skeleton, and then when they did the thing, it was did the x-rays and did carbon dating, it was a human. So he was been caught before, and yet he has proof of this, and he showed it, and one of the experts says that he's lying like the last time. And Mexico is trying to put a bill in to become the first country to I think to admit that aliens exist and make it a law, I guess, not to mess with them or something, that they're protected, and Mexico is going to become the first country to admit that they exist. I don't know. I saw the pictures of it. Everybody's talked about it since yesterday. A lot of people are making stupid menus of it, and aliens, people like waiting for Xboxes that come out with some game and they show a picture of the mummy and, you know, they're supposed to be mummified aliens. And they look like E.T. And I'll tell you what I think. So, we've been talking about this a lot lately. And some people, it's conspiracy theories because of everything that's going on in the White House. And this is Mexico. This isn't the White House. This has nothing to do with the United States. It's not a plot to get people away from the elections and stuff. This is not Mexico. This is not, this is not the United States. So, we all know what happened in Vegas 4 or 5 months ago. And now there's a new article saying that they've been locked down and they're not allowed to talk about it no more. And you notice no one's talking about what happened in Vegas. So we'll bring that up in a minute too, what I think. I don't know, it's a possibility. I was looking at these things and this could be fake, but they have pictures of it and x-rays. I would like for them to actually let real, you know, I'm not saying they don't have real scientists, let scientists that expertise, like the one in Germany, check it, and then they find out that they're not human or they're not fake. And he already had some of their scientists say they're not, and they did carbon dating, and it's not from this world. If you guys think we're alone, you're very mistaken. I do realize this causes a lot of drama, especially with people's beliefs and religions. And fears. I think people are scared that aliens exist. The point is they do. They're admitting it, guys. There's no more. It's not just Mexico. It isn't just Canada. Even Britain's coming out now. They're going to admit to it now. It's kind of hard to hide. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of lies and stuff. And maybe this guy's lying again because I've seen about how he had the same thing. It looked like a skeleton, like a scarecrow, but it was like all white and had like a skinny body with weird looking arms, and then it was just a human. It was mummified. And these ones are different though. They're smaller. They look like grays. And E.T. kind of like, but not too much, but a little bit different. You guys can check it out. It's everywhere right now. The 2 mummified aliens. It's one of the biggest things being talked about on TikTok and conspiracy theories now and the news. Because now, like I said, I think it was either today or tomorrow they're going to be having a press conference or something with the government about aliens and UFOs and stuff like that. And this was he's a UFO expert, or supposed to be a UFO exologist or something like that. They have some weird word for it. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a craze right now, the UFO thing. I think people are really hoping that they're there. And I already know they are. I'm just saying that it's really intriguing. That's the word I was trying to say. And I think people are starting to realize that this isn't just a hoax anymore. They did a poll and almost 79% of people believe aliens exist. And that was one poll. One was 84. The main one was almost 80 people. 80%. And some people think they're demons. Some people think they're not real. Some people think they're from another dimension. We don't know what the hell they are or what the fuck they are. And honestly, we have betrayed them as monsters. Just like that movie, The Alien, that one they made, that when the Earth stood still, we shot the alien who was actually here as a friend. They probably seen this. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to regret that. We really are going to regret that. We have made them look so bad. And all the conspiracy and all the bullshit people have said. But that's fear. We always do that. We're scared of the unknown. And everybody has done that. I have done that. You've done that. And that's just how people are, man. We're human. Some of us. And I think there's going to be a lot of pushback and say this is fake. Again, how much more you need? They're already said there. Another thing that just came out. They said they found another planet. I don't know if it was in this another solar system that had oceans and has probably life on it. And this is just coming out. I don't know what kind of life, and they have oceans. So I'm telling you guys, and what I mean by different is you're going to see more and more stuff come out. It's not going to be able to lie about it no more. They're going to finally tell the truth, and we're going to eventually come in contact with them for real. When that day comes, and it's going to be sooner than later, just remember these shows that we've done and talked about in the past, and other shows like Art Bell and Coast to Coast and other great shows that's on in the past that's talked about this. People used to say Art Bell was crazy. Just so everybody knows, Art Bell was on Coast to Coast AM, and he passed away a few years back. And I used to listen to him since the early 90s. He was doing it long before that. He's the one that did the famous show where the guy called on the radio and told him he was flying through Area 51, and he was talking the guy, and he got warned by him not to do it. And then all you hear is the conversation. He's in the plane talking to him, and no more, gone. They either arrested him or whatever happened. And he was claiming about what was going on in Area 51, and this is before they probably moved everything, because people were paying too much attention now to Area 51. Remember, I think 2 years ago they were going to try to go there, and they're still trying to go there. And rush, they were going to do that thing where they were going to do a mad rush in there, and they were going to go invade Area 51, what was a stupid mistake. And they were already ready for it. Trust me. They'd exist, and there's more than one species. There's probably, I'm going to say hundreds. I know they think it's only 20 or 30. They're telling us, but there's more than that. There's probably thousands. I don't know what to say anymore. Like, there's already too much proof. So dinosaurs didn't exist, right? They didn't exist, right? Most people are comfortable being told lies, and I'm not. You want to just sweep everything under the rug and pretend it's not there, till it comes under the rug and pops out of nowhere. What are you going to do? You're either going to deal with it, or you're going to go running, or you're going to go crazy. They're gently telling people the truth because people aren't going to know how to react yet. Everybody's acting like they do, and some people, like me and people who've always believed it, okay, I mean, it's going to be crazy, but normal people aren't going to know what to do. There's going to be a lot of judgmental crap going on, religious crap. I'm not saying I'm saying religion altogether. I don't want to get anybody offended. Non-religious people will too. There's going to be people who want to attack these creatures, or beings, or non-humans, or reptilians. And there's going to be people who are going to be afraid altogether and not know what to do. And that's what I think they're keeping a lot of things quiet for. That's some of the reason. And there's other reasons, money and religion and governments and military crap. This is what happens when you give too much power. Trusting. They keep secrets. We all know that. And that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to say any more. Because we don't want the show to get banned. And James will tell you that. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This is no. I don't know if they're real. They could be fake because the guy's already got... I don't think he was faking it. He thought it was, and it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe he wants to get famous. Why go to the government, though? That must be really stupid. He went to Paramount. and did this. Not just like on TV. He went to the actual Mexican government and did this. And wants them to make a bill to be, they're the first country to recognize that aliens exist. And I don't think they're going to be the last. I think we can learn a lot from them. I think we already have. I think they helped build the pyramids. I think they helped Atlantis. It's no longer there. The Sumerians, I think they've been around all the time. You look at the Egyptian walls, they show pictures of things flying in the air. And UFOs and men flying with, what do they call them? Spacesuits. And Mayan temples. Come on, guys. Our ancestors were not idiots. They might have been primitive, but they knew how to build certain things that we can't even do now. Those stones, we don't know how they did it. We have theories how they built the pyramids. We don't know. Just like Easter Island, how they got those giant statues there. Stonehenge. All this stuff, guys. There's a reason. Crop circles. And I know some people are faking that. That's true. There is, but some they couldn't explain it. Just like animals being killed with a laser, they don't know. It wasn't the goat sucker. Chupacabra was some of it, and some was just fake stuff. But they had it. They'd never seen anything like it. Roswell, some of the metal they found, they couldn't bend it. They couldn't shoot it. It didn't do anything. So, what do you guys think? I want to know what your comment is. What do you think? This guy's full of crap? Or he's just trying to become famous? Because he's claimed before and he was wrong, but this time he actually went to the government and did this. And said this. And did this throughout TV and has witnessed. He actually had scientists say that they took video and, X-ray and carbon fire, and these are not human. They have pictures. One has eggs in it. Like having children. What do you guys think? Is it fake? Is it bullshit? Is it this guy's telling the truth? Going to open up a can of worms, and I think it is. It's coming. This ain't going to be the last time. There's going to be so many hoaxes and bullshit and conspiracy theories, and there's going to be somebody who's actually going to tell the truth. Eventually, the body's going to be coming, and there ain't going to be nothing, or they're just going to come, and we're going to, what the fuck? Maybe they are going to destroy us, or maybe they already infiltrated our government, and they know what we're doing, and we're just don't know that. Or they're the bosses and we don't know that. Or maybe they've been working with our government to help us from other threats in the universe. There's not all races of alien probably like us. Maybe alliances, or maybe they have federations. Maybe like you see in Star Wars and Star Trek, that's all real. Some of these movies and Star Trek, Deep Space Nine and Star Wars, and there's different alien species. Some are bad, some are good, just like humans. There's some that's good, some are bad. Maybe that's the same thing. They're just more civilized. Maybe they think there's no need for us. Just so you know, if they want to destroy us, they already have done it. Their technology is way advanced than ours. I'm sorry, but it's just the truth. I don't think they do. I think most of them don't. I think there's just certain ones. They just don't care. Now, the reptilians are supposed to be the vicious ones and the grays. But that's a 50-50 on that one. I heard the grays like to do bad things to us and use mind tricks on us. And then there's the tall ones. They're like taller. The Anunnaki, they're supposed to have alien blood in them. Anybody has the R negative blood has that blood. They said it's not that the traits are not human. Some of the in some of the DNA. My mom's RO negative. People think they're half alien. They think the Nephilim are really aliens. Some people think they're angels, or the descendants from angels, half angels and half human, because they fell in love with the women of men. That's a whole biblical thing, and that's fine. There's plenty of different theories on who the Nephilim are. That's another one we've done numerous times. Check it out on the page. We did numerous shows about the Nephilim and giants. I believe they existed. Maybe the Nephilim were just from another planet. They were just big, huge, and we consider them monsters because they didn't look like us. And Maybe some of them hated us and some of them didn't. I don't know. I'm just throwing out theories. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying a theory I have. My opinions on this guy. It's 50-50. He could be lying like he did. I don't think he was lying. I think he was misled. And people really want stuff to be real, and they'll do anything to do it. And this time it didn't work. But now, 10 years later, technology is a hell of a lot better now. And he has scientists saying that they're real. He's going to have the Mexican scientist, and I think in Mexico, check and prove that they want to see if he's lying. And then I hope they send him to us, United States and wherever else, France, and we say they're real. Are we going to lie and say they're not? I already saw, like I said, the guy from the United States saying it's false and fake, and that's fine. It is his opinion. He doesn't know. He's just going off of, oh, it's got to be fake. And everybody, there's people saying that already. Oh, it looks fake. We don't know what the hell these things look like. None of us do. We've seen movies and stuff, but I'm going to tell you, there's a reason some of these movies, there's some truth to that. They knew. They've been told stuff. A lot of these people who make like E.T., Star Wars, and all this, it's not just writing up books and aliens. They've probably heard stuff from people or people in the military or people's stories they just never told anybody. I've heard stories from military people and people that said they exist. I knew somebody who worked at Area 51. We all do. I'm not saying everybody. I've heard that one. And he claimed the same thing. Numerous people I knew have always, in the military, have told me the same thing. They exist. I'm never going to tell you that on record. I'm not going to say anything. We'll leave it at that. I mean, most people know that. Generals coming out of, they signed stuff like for 30 years not to say nothing. Why? Why 30 years? And then when they're on their deathbeds, they tell the truth. Or even Armstrong told the truth. The astronaut said he saw them. And on the moon. We don't even go to the moon. Why? The Dark Side of the Moon, that song, that album, the song, and from Pink Floyd. I think we saw something. There's a base on the moon. That's a theory, and they told us to stay the hell off the moon. That's why no one goes there. Now China wants to go there. Why? They'll find out the same things we did and Russia did. Mars is the big target that we're trying to go to. I know Elon Musk is trying to go, and he said he's going to be able to go in the next 3 years, and we'll see. That would be a big jump for mankind. I think they're going to use the moon, or they're going to make a space station halfway through the moon right there so they can fill up and keep going. Because he said right now it's going to take 2 to 3 years. He's trying to make it where it's only 12 months or 13 months or something like that. And once you get it that way, then we'll do it. And it'll be faster and faster. If we can get in between, it would take 3 months. And I think they've been seeding Mars for a long time. With the rovers are dropping seeds there to grow trees. Start growing trees, and you add water. You make some lakes or get the oceans going there. It becomes oxygen. So remember that. Animals, all kinds of stuff can grow there. We don't know. Be great to find out. Mars is next. Just like the aliens are coming, guys. Get ready for it. You never know. It's going to hit us like a ton of bricks. And then we're going to have to deal with it. It's coming. And get ready for it. Because I can't fucking wait. I've been hearing people say, oh, they're not real and this and that. I can't wait. Because I'm just going to say I told you so. That being said, tell us what you think in the comments. We always like to hear. Please don't fight. Keep your opinions nice if you can. But we love you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show. So that's all I got to say, brother. There you go, James.
Thank you, brother. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you at least got the actual facts and evidence here, instead of a bunch of sensationalized clickbait crap that you're going to get everywhere else. At least you got the real information. You can make up your mind for yourself. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate you. I love you, and I'll catch you on the next one. Till I speak to you again. Love many, trust few, and do harm to none. God loves you, and so do we. Bye-bye.